there's another thing about this aspect. Now, we've got these restricted laws to protect these two parties, their monopoly. Mm-hmm. But what if, say, the Republicans have a real bad year and they suddenly don't qualify?
And that has happened in some states.
And that's happened. History, you check us out. That has happened. Then you've got a one-party monopoly. Mm-hmm. If that ever happens, the party that goes down will be with us. Then they'll be with us. They'll be screaming bloody murder. Oh, my gosh, how could this be?
Yeah.
This isn't fair. You can just hear
it. It wasn't supposed to happen to us.
and again, I go back to, let me ask you. Now, when you go around and you speak and talk to people, what are most people's reaction to this?
I just thought, I didn't know that. It's kind of like, the learning moment, just like you could knock them down with a feather. They have no clue that this is going on. And then when you start pointing out some of the ramifications of it, they really get wide-eyed and sometimes angry.
So while we're talking about solutions here, our solution for the state, for all states, would be for all the independents, third party to get together and not work on anything but this at every state in the union.
Well, that would certainly give us our best shot.
Right. And then once you guys are all on the ballot, you can fight out issues then. But if you're not, it doesn't help.
Well, and as a matter of fact, some good news. The libertarians who are holding a tenuous grip on ballot access in the state, and I do mean tenuous because I have to re-earn it again, unlike the bigs. And this is one of their strongest states. They've been here 40 years. They put oodles of dollars into it and all sorts of work. It's one of their biggest parties, and they're just barely hanging on for dear life.
And how many of them get into office?
I think one got on the city council.
One.
In the whole
After
state.
40 years.
After 40 years. And they and the Green Party and the Reform Party are all on board with us on this. So that's a good thing.
Got to get organized, Clell. Got to make it high priority. Otherwise, this will never get done.
Well, and the thing of it is, it's if some of these guys, and by the way, I want to speak to those folks who are of the, if you will, conservative slant. If you think that your guys in the legislature that maybe you hear on the radio are really such near and dear fellows, and just hit them with this. If they really are serious, if they're really believers in true conservatism, which I'll call constitutionalism,
right?
If they really are, they will have no problem with this. They will pick up the ball and run with it for you. You won't have to encourage them much. But I can tell you, and this is the acid test, if they have a problem with this, they have a problem with constitutional freedoms. They have a problem, particularly with the 14th Amendment, like you mentioned. They have a particular problem with being answerable to you. Even if they smile in your face, that doesn't matter. If they don't pick up the ball and run with this, they're not the real deal.
And furthermore, they don't trust Mary and they don't trust Jared to make up our own minds.
Yeah.
No, they like to do their thinking for us.
Yeah.
They think they know what's better for the people.
Yes. And remember, these people are elected, but I say this to people occasionally. An election is one way of choosing somebody for whatever job, but don't forget, we pay their salaries. They are hired hands, and may I submit that most of them are not particularly good and should have been fired a long time ago.
Right. I'm blessed with having two people in Austin that I think are doing a really good job so far.
Okay.
But that's not the case for most people in Texas.
Yeah, by and large.
Yeah, by and large, that's true. And if we want something different, we need to move on this issue.
And one thing might point out, just want to plug this in. Remember, on Election Day, you can't vote out somebody else's bum. You can only vote out your own.
Well, that's true. All right, now we're talking solutions, and we've talked state. Now let's talk national solutions.
Okay.
Okay. I have a list here. Do you want me to go first? Then you comment? All right. All right. There is an author named Martin Gross who wrote a lot of books on politics, but one of them was called The Political Racket from A to Z. And he had a whole chapter on this issue. And I think he offered a great solution to break up the national two-party monopoly. And I want to quote, "Pass a law establishing uniform standards for ballot access so third-party and independent candidates can compete on a level playing field, such as was introduced in the Voter Freedom Act, H.R. 1941. Now, right here, I know there are going to be people that say, oh, you're violating the state's 10th Amendment. I say the 14th Amendment tells me that this would not violate the 10th Amendment because we constitutionally are guaranteed protection.
Equal protection
under the law, right? That's a federal guarantee.
Well, and also,
if the states won't do that, then we also, at the same time, you guys are doing the state pressure. We need to put the pressure on our national representatives to pass a Voter Freedom Act.
Well, may I make two observations about that? Number one, if there were enough pressure, they would do it at the federal level, because I've not known the people in the federal government having any particular regard for what's constitutional anyway. So,
True.
So I mean, so what's that to them?
The Constitution. Right.
Number two, in this respect, traditional understanding of the Constitution is that state laws must be concurrent with federal laws, and they cannot violate them. So there might be a
and these
there.
ballot access laws violate my 14th
Amendment.
Yes.
His 14th Amendment.
But that's my point.
That's exactly right. Well, the other ideal I have, it should be a no-brainer, but that's to eliminate the motor voter bill. Because when anybody signs up for a driver's license, automatically, unless they check they don't want to be on the voter rolls, they are.
They should be automatically in there. I think that would help.
That's a no-brainer.
And the thing of it is, it's been made. Now, I want to point out something. There's a bill up that I agree with as far as what they want to do about the, voter registration card and picture ID.
That's my next one. That's my next one.
But the thing is that I just wanted to point out that the person who is championing that, a certain Miss Riddle, was on camera. You may have seen the YouTube video that I have it at home, where it shows her right in the midst of all of this and talking about it as a matter of integrity. Well, I think it was Channel 26 in Austin. Unlike most of the time when they have votes, they turn the camera up at the speaker's platform. They turned it down on the floor, and there was Miss Riddle and most of the rest of the people, both Democrats and Republicans alike, going and voting not only for themselves but 2 and 3 other people. And we have them on tape, and she was one of them.
Well, sure, they all do that.
And so, here, don't give me this stuff about integrity. It is a good bill, but the fact is, we also need people who will live up to it, unlike certain hypocrites we know.
Okay, back to this voter bill. Now,
I've never heard of a politician being a hypocrite, ever.
Right.
Not from themselves, anyway.
No, never.
All right.
They'll swear to that.
They wrote this law so that they can get people on the voting rolls. Okay? That violates equal protection as far as I'm concerned. And they don't, from what I've understood, they don't tell you, hey, you're on automatically if you put no. So, all right.
How many illegal aliens get that?
Exactly. So, illegal aliens are people that don't want to vote. Next thing you know,
other criminals, I should say.
Criminals, whatever, they're on the voting rolls. Yeah. Okay? That's got to change.
We need to stop this hard rush toward being a banana republic in our balloting system. By the way, that segues, I believe, into this.
Oh, yes. Hold that up for the camera.
This one over here?
Yeah.
Yes. We need to demand several things of our
pick it up.
Of our elected officials, in addition to ballot access, because it all goes hand in hand. If you have ballot access, but you have crooked elections by a computer, by no paper trail or no accountability, farming out the counting of votes to private companies, who knows where, in private, then you can't really be assured of your election. We have a picture that says, demand publicly monitored, publicly verified, hand-counted ballots. That is something we have to have. Otherwise, it doesn't matter who votes. It only matters who counts the votes, as Stalin pointed out. In Iraq, as we point out here, they have all sorts of choices, above 40 choices.
And they have hand-counted ballots.
Hand-counted ballots as well. Why can't we have that? Why can't we have all these choices? Why can't we have hand-counted ballots?